Good afternoon. Welcome back to Hockey Talks. I'm Carl. It's Dave. The AHL has made mandatory neck protection into the upcoming season for the 2024-2025 season. The WHL has previously done this in the last year due to after an ex-Pittsburgh Penguins got cut in the neck in the KHL a couple of years ago.
And it ended fatally, I believe.
It ended fatally, yes. Unfortunately, it did. So they've been trying to put stuff in place here through the hockey leagues to make sure some guys have worn it before. And they've continued to wear it. Like Connor Garland, he started this by wearing one right after that happened, right? And people slowly start following it. And
so
it made it to WHL and now to the AHL.
So do you think if it's a mandatory thing, like there's a lot of things that can happen, right? Like you can always wear the extra guards and stuff if you choose to. But do you think they're making it mandatory just because somebody, was deceased because of it, or?
Yeah, I think that has something to do with it.
Because there's a lot of things you can make mandatory then.
Oh yeah,
you know what
absolutely,
I
mean? Yeah. I think it's fine. I think it's a good idea, right? I mean, it doesn't hurt. It's just a little mesh thing that goes over your neck, right? And a lot of the players that use it now, they don't even really notice it. It takes some time to get used to, probably, but. Why not? I mean, accidents happen. It was a clear accident what happened. Skate blade came up and cut him across the neck.
How did it come up?
The player fell down the ice and the skates come up, right? And it just so happened to just come across his neck. And yeah, and that was it after that.
Oh,
but
man.
It's just,
yeah.
It happens, right? You see guys getting cut all the time with skates, right? And guys that cut in the wrist and they get medical attention immediately. But I mean, those blades are sharp.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
They're really sharp. They touch you and you're instantly cut.
So do you think that'll have any impact on anybody's ability or anything like that?
No, I don't think so. Like I said, maybe at the beginning it'll take time to get used to, but it's something that goes around your neck. It's going to feel uncomfortable.
Just be a little bit more
for a while. I think
it.
it's a good idea if they mandate it. NHL, like I said, has not done this yet. They might do it. I would imagine.
I don't
probably
know.
Follow suit.
You think so?
Everyone else, I don't know. It depends. If they get enough back pressure, I think they will.
But here's the thing. Here's where I'm coming from. Right? Is if you're worried about it, you'll wear it. It's kind of a risk you take. Kind of like driving without a seatbelt.
Yeah.
It doesn't guarantee you're going to pass away or anything. And usually, if something like that were to happen, it sucks you didn't take the preventative measures of putting it on, like putting the seatbelt on.
Yeah.
But at some point, you got to prevent everybody from being these big marshmallow men floating around on the ice.
Yeah, you can't overdo it, obviously. Right?
Yeah, and that's why I think the NHL, it's like it'll probably happen, right? But it's a little slower to get there, right? Because they got to go through the process.
Yeah, well, they're going to take their time doing this, right? And they may not even do it, right? Like said, WHL does it now. I don't even know if KHL has actually made it mandatory yet. I actually don't know, but considering it happened there, I'm not sure if they did. But
look at how they used to play without helmets and everything like that, right?
So, yeah. Now
everybody has a helmet now.
Mandatory now, right? And full gear.
Yeah.
Some guys are strapped on skates and away they went.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Safety's become
those
a lot
goalies
more
were crazy,
right? And people move a lot quicker and shooting a lot harder, right, than they have before. But I mean, accidents happen.
Yeah.
They're a part of the game. It's a very fast, physical game. You're on pretty much knives, skating around on knives. So if something comes up, I mean, something, not to say it, but expected to happen, right?
Yeah.
Right? So.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, but, hopefully, I guess all these rules coming into play is just going to make everybody safer.
Yeah, well, that's the ultimate goal, I guess. Like you said, we'll keep an eye and see what the NHL does. The AHL affiliate to the NHL is doing this, so that makes me think the NHL is probably not that far behind. But once again, we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, in 20 years in the future of the sport, you never really know what's even going to happen. I mean, you compare the sport nowadays to what it was like 20 years ago, and nowadays we have great stars coming into the league, and new teams are shifting, and teams are rebuilding, and everything like that. So
yeah. Absolutely. But talk about great stars. The Senators acquired Stanley Cup champion, unrestricted free agent, Nick Cousins
Oh boy.
from Florida Panthers. Actually, they didn't acquire. He was an unrestricted free agent.
Yeah.
But they signed him to an $800,000 1-year deal. Do you think that bodes well?
You think he's worth more than 800,000?
Not Nick Bonino. Sorry, Nick Cousins. Nick Bonino is, I think, retired a while ago. I don't know. I think he'll have a spot. Like he's still a well-rounded player, right?
Yeah.
Fast. He can score goals.
He's still growing as a player.
He's more, I guess I want to say more of a veteran player now.
Yeah.
He's kind of in the middle, I guess, but I think he'll add some of that to the younger guys.
You put him around the right people, yeah. And
Yeah,
it'll be interesting to see what happens.
Well, you just watch these Ottawa Senators build, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they're slowly getting piece by piece by piece in, right?
Yeah.
And eventually you'd think they would crack the playoffs, right? Which could be this year. I mean, they got Linus Ullmark from Boston, right?
Yeah.
Good goaltender.
Yeah.
They have a lot of great upcoming stars.
Yeah.
Similar
to Montreal Canadiens.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it'd be interesting to see which one of those, especially with that Laine signing, right?
Yeah, Patrick Laine and Montreal Canadiens.
That's just so crazy to me still. But it'll be interesting to see which one of those two teams cracks the playoffs if either one does. They're both rebuilding in similar positions.
Yeah.
And I always think Ottawa in the past couple of years has had really good stars in their team, but it's almost, I don't know, they're just lacking that extra push. Kind of like Leafs in Game 7s. Well, they just lack that extra push to, take it away.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think they had quite all the pieces there, right? Like the goaltending was not great last year.
Yeah.
Like I said, they got Linus Ullmark this year, which will be a lot better, much of an improvement into the goaltending aspect, but we'll see where it goes. Like you said, Montreal Canadiens, Patrick Laine.
Yeah, it's a huge deal.
Rivals. It's going to be some competitive games between those two.
Yeah.
And Toronto, of course, Toronto as well. Right. But, yeah, they got, speaking of goaltending, though, I guess while we're on that topic, Vancouver Canucks, Thatcher Demko has had, everybody knows he's had knee issues, right?
Don't we all?
Yeah, everybody's got knee issues, but he's had surgery and stuff like that, and they were really hoping he'd be ready for this year. Now reports are coming out that Demko is probably going to miss the beginning of the season, which puts Silov back in net, which he played really well in the playoffs. Right?
I think it's a great opportunity.
I think it's a great opportunity for him.
We'll see how he'll shine when, the games aren't necessarily as important, where he might not have that, that motivation or that same ambition.
Yeah.
Frankly, I think he will, just because it's like he's playing because he's, where he comes from and everything like that, right? He's playing like he has nothing to lose. So
yeah.
And he really does,
Yeah. I mean, he's the official backup now.
Yeah.
To Demko. Demko not ready, and we'll see how long that takes him to get ready. But
wouldn't that be something? Grow this guy into a good top tier goaltender.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
That'd be great. Maybe they could beat the Oilers then, eh?
Yeah. Well, grow him into a top tier goaltender, then we'll have the same situation in 2011 when we had two great goaltenders and we gave them both away.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see what happens there. But, looking forward to it. Let's see if Silov can start this year off with the Canucks and get them back into the playoffs.
Yeah. No, that'd be awesome. And speaking of 2025, there's actually, I got a question for you. Do you know who is on the NHL 25 cover?
Yeah, the Hughes brothers.
Yeah. And so do you know which Hughes is on which teams?
Quinn Hughes is Vancouver Canucks.
Okay.
Luke and, blanking on Jack.
Yes.
Hughes is on New Jersey.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah.
That's a pretty big deal. Could you imagine having 3 boys growing up in the league? And, that'd be so expensive.
Yeah.
And all of them making it to the NHL. That can't be cheap.
Yeah, everybody. And they're all on the cover of NHL video game now.
Yeah. So what do you think of that? Like, that's very interesting that EA would go instead of like a star or something. They're mixing it up. And
well, Quinn Hughes is a star in the NHL.
Yeah.
He's a defensive star, absolutely.
Yeah, no. He's no Matthews.
He's like one of the top defensive guys in the league.
One of.
And Cale Makar being the other.
What about his other 2 brothers?
Jack and Luke.
Yeah.
They're forwards. But
yes.
Yes, but yeah, they're becoming stars too. They're younger, right? They just started. Luke just started this year
Yeah.
or last year, sorry, and then Jack was I think a couple of years ago. So, but they're making big splashes in New Jersey, and right.
Well, I was going to say that now that with the coaching change, that's going to be good for them too. Because they're what are they, 22 and like 24?
Yeah,
something like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, it's a promising team too. It's exciting. It's exciting future for sure.
Oh, absolutely.
But yeah, that just came out today or yesterday or something like that. Where they're going to be on the cover.
So. The brothers, yeah. That's good. I kind of like that. I like that they have all three brothers on there.
It's neat. Yeah, for sure.
It's something different, right? Yeah. So, and I think they deserve to be on the cover too, right?
Yeah.
They're such fantastic players, and it's enjoy watching them.
Yeah.
Perform. Yeah. Speaking of greats, the debate has gone on for a long time, ever since they entered the league.
Yeah.
Who is a better fit, or who is better in general, Crosby or Ovechkin? Dave?
Well, that's a tough one. Because I mean, a lot of people would probably obviously want to go on statistics and championships won and everything like that. But some other things that you got to keep in mind is like what they did to the team, what tools they were given when they first started out. So a lot of people might say that Crosby just got dealt a better hand with his teammates. Frankly, I think Crosby was a great player. I think he led the team to a bunch of different championships.
Yep.
But you also got to look at Ovechkin's career and what he did for the team of Washington, who necessarily, I mean, the Penguins had the Lemieux and all those people teaching Crosby, but makes you think, even if Ovechkin had that kind of mentorship, would he be better? Or because, I mean, he's pretty darn good as is, right? And he led the team to a championship. It took him a little bit longer.
Yeah.
But I think if you look at all the data of it all, Crosby. But if you look at everything else as a well-rounded player and what he does behind the scenes, Ovechkin is up there too.
They're definitely two different.
Very difficult to choose.
Very different. They're two different style players, right? Crosby's more of a playmaker. Ovechkin's obviously a goal scorer.
Crosby can be a goal scorer too.
Oh, he can.
When he's not getting concussed.
Absolutely, yeah, he's had.
But yeah, okay. Who's a better player? Who's had less injuries?
Well, yeah, Ovechkin's been a lot healthier.
Yeah, so that's an interesting stat.
I mean, he's about to break a record.
Yeah.
When you guys see goal record.
Yeah.
Which
does Crosby have any records like that?
Nothing like that. No, nothing like that. He's in like the top 10 records, right, and stuff like that. But nothing major like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ovechkin, because he's been able to stay healthy, has been able to get to close to these records, right? Now he has a chance of breaking them this year. As for it's always been Crosby versus Ovechkin. Well, Crosby, to me, I think Crosby started off like he started with Mario Lemieux, and he had under Mario Lemieux's wing for the first little bit, and then he became captain, and he had a pretty well-rounded team at the beginning, right? Ovechkin, when he came in, the Washington Capitals weren't the best team. He never really had as big of a mentor as Mario Lemieux, right? So Ovechkin had to kind of fight his way all the way. Not saying Crosby didn't either, right? Crosby had to fight his way and get all those Stanley Cups he currently has right now, right? But Ovechkin seems like he had to grind a lot more and be a lot more patient with what he was dealt with over the years.
Yeah.
And he finally got through in 2018 when he hoisted the Stanley Cup, and he made sure he partied hard enough for everybody on that team.
Yeah.
It was fun watching him do that.
He celebrated 3 Stanley Cups.
He celebrated all the ones Crosby already won.
Yeah, exactly.
One, right? All the ones he's been waiting for, and how close he's come all those years. But it's comparison. They're two different players, right? It's been really enjoyable watching them perform and versus each other, right? Yeah, I don't know. I think it was great for hockey, great for people, great for the fans, and I hope we get a lot more years out of them right now.
Yeah. So the long and short of it is, who would you say if you had to choose one?
If I had to choose, just based on what he's accomplished, probably Crosby.
Yeah, I think I'm like-minded as well. But
I think Crosby.
Maybe we're a bit biased though,
because
we are Canadian.
Ovechkin didn't have all the same teams that Crosby had.
Yeah.
But Crosby had to fight too, right? And he's battled through a lot of injuries and still came out on top, right? So
yeah.
I think I would have to put the edge on Crosby, but it's very, very close.
Yeah.
Yeah, so.
If you're still watching, what do you think?
Yeah, leave us a comment. Give us a like. Or don't.
Yeah.
But either way, yeah, let us know what you think. Crosby Ovechkin, let us know what you think about the AHL making neck protection.
Yeah, is it the right thing to do?
Right thing to do. I think it is. Dave, yeah, I mean, you think probably is.
I think, well, maybe in the AHL. I don't think it would be the right thing to do in the NHL.
Not the right thing to do in the NHL?
Yeah.
Okay, no. That's fair. I mean, yeah, you got to protect those young guys, right? They're a little more reckless than some of the NHL guys.
Some.
Yeah, there's still some reckless guys in the NHL. But once again, that's all the time we've got for today. Well, thanks again for watching. I hope you have a wonderful night.
See you later.